All right, tackling, instead of dealing, we're going to tackle tariff challenges, right? Just a little bit of context on the company I'm with. I'm the director of customer experience here at a company called Bear Down Brands. We are based in Fullerton, California. The company was established in 2011. And underneath Bear Down Brands, we have four brands. All have D2C websites, all have Amazon storefronts. We also have brick and mortar retail too, which I'll expand on in a moment, but we are essentially an e-com company, and I've been with this company, it'll be 3 years in August. All right, the topic tariffs. We're all in this together, whether it's personally, professionally, tariffs are definitely impacting us, whether you're in finance, customer service, every corner of our business. The real question is, how do we adapt and thrive and face the challenges like these? Adaptability has been our cornerstone, not only with my team, but with our company. And that's what I'm looking forward to sharing with you today. And what I did is break it down into three main pillars for us to all digest here. One, and I'll speak upon this more in the future slides, but transparency, and I'll spend some time on this. Transparency. We had a message from our CEO that trickled down to a message from my team, that trickled down to a message from customer. Basically, what we're doing in light of these tariffs within our company, within my CS team, and then how we message that to our customers, the impact on them from our products and pricing. The second thing was revisiting customer service basics. This was a great time to dig in with my team to empower agents, make sure they had the resources they need, the training they need. Also negotiate, reopen contracts with current vendors we had. Everyone's talking price these days. What would it hurt to see if we could get a break on things? All we could hear was no. And I'll go into a little bit more of that. And then the third pillar, and this is nothing novel, and you and within the company you're in are probably dealing or working on some of these, was collaboration with supply chain and operations. All of these touch our team, my CS team, as well as our customers, but managing inventory, diversifying suppliers, and accelerating growth, which I'll expand on that more. But I want to go back to transparency, how this started from the top. We had an all hands on meeting, and these were the three main takeaways, specifically how they impacted my team and our customers. One was supplier diversification. And, we have product we sell online, we get it overseas. And, in light of the tariffs, it caused us to, actively source outside tariff heavy regions to ensure long-term sustainability. So going outside of countries where we normally got our product, just to offset that cost and not have to pass so much on to the consumer. The other thing, and this was exciting, global growth, accelerating expansion globally to offset tariff impacts and broader market reach. I mentioned we're an e-commerce company. We primarily sell on Amazon and online, but what's happened in the last 2 years has been kind of exciting is that we've expanded into brick and mortar and selling more and more in Target, Costco, and now that's even expanding internationally in markets like Mexico and Canada. And I'll touch upon how that was exciting or getting exciting for my team and how it was a growth opportunity in light of tariffs. And then real important, I think it's, one thing I love to do with my team, I never think it's a given, is, what are our priorities? What's going on in the company, what's going on with our customers, what's going on with our brands that, or our volume, what are the priorities right now? So basically from our CEO, we are budgeting only for essentials, streamlining operations and continue to innovate. And then again, prioritizing transparent communication to strengthen customer loyalty. And speaking of customers, what we did, again, expanding on transparency is, as I mentioned, we have four brands. We had sent out an email to our customers on those brands and just let them know, hey, these tariffs are happening. We are going to increase prices, and you may want to purchase before X date when this price is going to increase. I was a little nervous when this went out, but this was received very positive from our customers. We actually got emails in, customers thanking us, and that in light of the price increase, they would stand by us, and that they understood what was going on. So it was just good to kind of, you know, put it out there for customers and, hey, we have to do this because of this, and this is when it's going to happen. And I just feel like it was appreciated and didn't really have any backlash from that. And then within my team, echoing the CEO's remarks, wanted to make sure I had a huddle to dispel any assumptions. I have a team. Bear Down Brands is a remote company. We do have a headquarters in Fullerton, California. I come in once a week, but my team is 100% remote. I've got team members in the US and all around the world. And tariffs are impacting different ways in different countries, but I wanted to make sure with my team that the communication was uniform, echoing the CEO sentiments, as well as how we communicated what we're doing about tariffs to our customers. So they all got a copy of the email. We made macros, we made, just to empower them so they didn't get caught off guard or were nervous. And also it was a good time to look into our resources that we had, make sure on our websites that everything was clear, accessible, and that we had addressed common concerns and still continued to build that trust. So revisiting customer service basics. None of these are really novel, but things that I feel need to be continued to do within a customer service team, whether it's with me or my SMEs or supervisor or any vendor we bring on. Again, empowering agents. We didn't want them to be off guard with any tariff questions. Again, we were fully transparent on the company's messaging, the email messaging, to make sure that they knew how to answer. And if they didn't, they knew where to go. One thing I love within a CS team is uniform communication, no matter what topic it's on, whether it's a troubleshooting topic, a policy topic. If someone calls a certain agent and then they call another agent, they're going to get the same uniform answer and and support. So we just wanted to make sure everything along with tariffs, whenever we received those, was uniform. And I think that also built trust with customers. They weren't receiving different cross-wired answers or different answers from what they'd seen on the email. We also wanted to think, like, how can we raise our CS bar? And one way to do that was make outbound calls on our warranty. All of our products are backed by warranties, and customers come to us for those replacements. And we have a whole process that usually results in sending out a warranty replacement to the customer. So we would put together a list of our top selling models, and we'd take some time out of the day and call these people when we knew they had received their warranties, and just to make sure, hey, one, did you receive it? Two, is it working as expected? And this is something very basic, and we reached about 20% of our list each week. And customers actually wrote into our office saying that, wow, you guys really stand behind your brand. Not only did you send me a replacement, but you called to make sure I got it and that it worked. I feel sometimes these days the bar is low on CS, and just little things like a follow-up with a customer when my team has time, when the phones aren't ringing off the hook, just helps build that trust, especially in times like this, and just continues to build that loyalty. The last thing, and this is something I like to do every first quarter, is, kind of revisit contracts I have with vendors and just see, like, where can we get, better pricing, but not impact our performance or efficiency with that vendor. And again, the worst you would hear was no, but we actually got some, negotiation, and it ended up, saving my department some money. Also, we are going to be, in other markets in Mexico and Canada. So I'm looking for other call centers and just really being aggressive on that rate as well. It's just really motivated my team to, always continue to kind of think about these things. So in closing, I always meet with my team, customer service, it's Grand Central Station, but, we just take a deep breath and adapt. I've been with companies that have weathered COVID, microchip shortages, container rate hikes, and each time, in my experience, a company and team has emerged because they adapted. That's one thing I always took away. And I emphasize that with my team, whether it's tariffs or a product that we just launched that maybe isn't working correctly, and we have to figure out how to troubleshoot and work with our other team members. Not everything will go according to plan. It's no one's fault, but we just be ready to adapt. And that's what I'll leave you with.